Hello, welcome to this video. So, I have finished my master's in the #1 technical university in Germany, and I got rejected everywhere that I applied. This video is not going to be a negative one. Rather, I'm going to reveal my plans of what I'm going to do after finishing my master's here in Germany. But first, I would like to start with the fun part. So, if you have a cigar, light it up. If you have a cigarette, light it up. If you have some tea, heat it up. And if you have some coffee, cook it and join me in this beautiful video where I'll tell you what my plan is after finishing masters in aerospace in the #1 technical university in Germany and one of the best universities in Europe for aerospace. So, let me just tell you where I started. In the year 2022, I have graduated from Middle East Technical University, which is considered #1 technical university in Turkey. And as you know, the aerospace industry in Turkey is booming now, with Turkey investing more and more capital into the aerospace industry, and especially the part of defense, where there are so many great companies in Turkey offering amazing jobs with competitive salaries, paying even more than some countries in Europe. So, obviously, leaving Turkey was hard, but I left Turkey to Germany because the economical situation in Turkey at the time was not so good. And also because the Turkish aerospace sector was, let's say, demanding compared to what I've heard about Europe. So I applied to the Technical University of Munich aerospace program, and I got accepted conditionally with the requirement to pass a certain exam after coming to Germany within 1 year. So I came to Germany, I settled in Berlin with my girlfriend. After finding an apartment in Munich, I have traveled to Munich, kind of gotten introduced to my university, and started slowly studying Munich. Of course, I was traveling back and forth between Berlin and Munich, but I spent most of my time at a table just going through lecture notes, slides, exam prep, practice tests, trying to pass my university courses, improve my German, and also work on my own projects so that I could later present my skills when applying to companies. Now I'll tell you, it was tough. The education in Germany is free. My master's program was completely free except for the enrollment fee which I paid, which was basically nothing compared to other master's programs around the world. And it was quite demanding. In the first semester I had to take 5 master courses, additionally having to pass that requirement under which I was accepted. In my second semester I took the same number of courses plus a non-aerospace related course. Later I had to write a semester's thesis, which is like a master's thesis, while also taking more lab courses and traveling to Munich. And then I of course had to write a master's thesis, which I worked on for 8 months with a private company here. And generally speaking, this 2.5-year journey has been nothing but a struggle. Because I'll tell you, coming to Germany is difficult in the sense that there's a lot of bureaucracy behind the scenes. Getting a visa, I had to struggle for around 1 year, collecting all the documents, although I was here legally, trying to find an appointment, later failing to find an appointment because of small details in my applications, having to register myself back in Berlin, trying to find an appointment in Berlin, the busiest city in Germany, and finally getting my student visa after 1 year of application. But not only that, there were also other struggles. For instance, the language barrier. I knew nothing of German when I came here, and I didn't know that I'm going to need so much German. But it turned out that in Germany, you need German. Contrary to what many of the YouTube videos are going to tell you. So basically speaking, the journey itself was pretty full of challenges, but after 2.5 years of going back and forth between Munich and Berlin, writing final exams, which were the only evaluation point in my master's courses, so I had to pass them, otherwise I would fail the courses, and writing 2 theses, I'm done with my master's. I have submitted my last thesis, my final, let's say, thesis in February 6th, and I still haven't gotten my grade, although it's been already 2 months now, but I'm still waiting. And meanwhile, I've been applying to different companies. Now, while writing my thesis, I was already working at a company here part-time and doing this thesis together with the company. Everybody at the company was very motivating, saying that the company keeps all of its student workers, and once I complete my master's, I'm going to be guaranteed a job there. And I was very happy. So obviously I didn't feel the need to search for work here, because why would I? I was guaranteed a place. But unfortunately it didn't go the way I planned. See, in my particular case, I wasn't very satisfied with my boss. And my supervisor at the company wasn't dealing with me at all. Although the master thesis was both in the interest of my study and the company, only I was kind of taking part in it, while the company or the employees were either on holiday in the important times or sick or not having time to deal with me. So I was basically left alone with no guideline, and I was doing my own thing the way I thought it was necessary. So I wrote a 130-page master thesis, and not that its importance is in the pages, but rather in the content. I did experimental work as well as validations, a lot of simulations, and even a lot of literature work. So, upon submitting my master's thesis, I applied at the company, and my boss told me that he wants me in the analysis team so that I develop mathematical models. And I said, I'm more than happy to be in there because I like developing mathematical models, and particularly for me as an aerospace engineer, the offer that he was giving me at the time was very attractive. I was familiar with everything he said, and I said, okay, I would love to be an analyst and I would love to be developing math models and testing them at the company. But later in the interview I found out that they need a design engineer. So I said, I'm also ready for that. I could also be a design engineer because I have a pretty strong background in design. I have had numerous projects in design. I know a lot of design software, and I was more than happy to accept that position too. So we finalized my first interview that I'm going to get the design position, and after 1 month of waiting, the company manager told me that he did not accept me for the analyst position because they obviously found a better analyst. Upon telling him that I applied for design because they asked me to apply for design, they said, no, we're pretty sure you applied for the analyst position. And I said, alright, whatever, I understand, and I accepted. And later talking to the HR manager, which told me to apply again, but explicitly for the design position, I applied for the design position explicitly via email. Now, everybody at the company was saying that I'll get the job because they needed a designer, and also the HR manager was very satisfied with my work in the company. The colleagues in the company were also very satisfied. And knowing the salary expectations that the company was kind of okay with, I also said that I'm okay with the lower salary, I just need to start at the company because I liked everything. So they all gave me hope and they said, just take 1 month break and when you come back you're gonna get the job. And after taking 2 weeks break, I found out that the company doesn't need me anymore because apparently they needed more professional stuff. And it was quite devastating, to be honest, because I was promised a place at the place where I was working for already 8 months. I was used to it, I was used to the road, I was used to the people at the company. I already had my own, let's say, office space, and we all understood each other pretty well except for the boss. But I guess having a better relationship with the boss is more important than having a good relationship with anybody else at the company. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the type of person that's going to go and change his character just because the boss is gonna like me more. I would rather stay true to myself, which I pointed out in our meeting with HR and the boss together. And I guess the boss didn't like me, so he didn't even want to proceed with the application process second time. Well, and the lighter doesn't work. But the point is, I didn't get the job at the company that promised me work. So obviously I was left quite dissatisfied. I didn't know what I'm going to do because having completed a really good degree, having a very, let's say, profound knowledge in this area, and having done enough work to be able to apply to certain positions, I was unfortunately very, very down because of that rejection at the main workplace. And the biggest barrier in Germany here, just like in any other European country, is that they favor people who know their language. Because at the workplace, whether you want it or not, you have to speak the language. The people there speak the language. All of the bureaucracy is in that language. The important meetings are held in that language, and assuming you know the language, you're not going to have any problems. My German knowledge is around B1, so limited working proficiency, but I am not so good at technical things. So obviously the workplace couldn't even favor me when it comes to the language. They knew that I'm a fast learner, and they knew that my German level is already pretty good for a person that has come to Germany only 2.5 years ago. But obviously for them, it is better to accept a person who knows the language better, a local person, than a person who came from another country and is trying to build a life here, which I understand. Now, upon being devastated because of the rejection, I spent a couple of days just sitting and thinking and stressing, after which I realized I shouldn't be stressing. There are plenty of opportunities, and I just opened LinkedIn and found so many different job positions that were also concerning me. These positions either had the skills that I have, or the requirements were, let's say, on my level. The language requirements were pretty, let's say, weak, and I obviously applied. Now it is important to note that these positions, they had 50 to 60 applicants each. And I knew that my chances of kind of going filtered through that process among 60 applicants, my chances are pretty low. Also, LinkedIn shows you who else is applying to the position, and I saw that many people with a higher educational level were also among the applicants. So obviously, I did not have high expectations. And here I am, after 6 rejections, which is not a lot, but still 6 out of 8, sitting here and recording this video for you. Now, this is not to say that I've given up, or not to say that finding a job is impossible. I'm sure there are great companies out there with positions available for me that I could apply to tomorrow and get a position in a month. But the thing is, I guess people who finish masters, just like me, do not realize that the reality of life is a lot tougher. Having finished my masters, at the moment of my final presentation, I thought I'm unstoppable. I thought that everything is settled in life. I thought that this degree means that I am somebody who has achieved enough in life to be considered competent and to get any position he applies to. But now, facing the reality, I can tell you, it isn't true. So, it's been tough. It was quite difficult the first few days. And one day I remember getting 3 rejections in a row, which really demotivated me. But I realized that these rejections, they don't define me. I am not a person that is going to be rejected everywhere, just like anybody else. I just didn't suit for that position. Maybe at the time there was just a better applicant, and that doesn't mean that I'm not enough. It means that somebody else suits for the company a bit better. So I realized that instead of just being saddened by every single rejection, I could go ahead and improve myself, and maybe with the next application I'm going to get some good news. I guess it's important to look at it from the company's perspective. If you had a company, you would try and hire the best person, the person who's going to yield the most profit, the most efficiency, and the most use for your company. And this is how I thought about it. If there's somebody who's going to do a job better than me, according to company's, let's say, evaluation, then the company should hire that person. And I guess I'm suitable more for another company, and the time is going to come where they'll hire me. So it's a combination of right place, right time, and the right situation, where the right place would be a place where there is not a lot of competition and there is a demand. The right time would be when the company is really desperately looking for somebody, and the set of, let's say, the set of other circumstances that are going to favor your acceptance would be a good cover letter, a fitting CV, or the right skill set that the company needs at that time. So if you have finished your master's and you have gotten rejections from companies and you don't know what to do, the most important thing is not to just give up improving yourself and sit down and apply at companies and wait desperately. It is to put the applications to the second, maybe the third, let's say, level, and put yourself on the first level. Continue improving yourself. You're not defined by these rejections. Try and understand the things that those companies need and work on them. I realized that finishing masters doesn't mean that I am suitable for any job in my field, and it doesn't guarantee me with anything. Yes, it's a certificate, a diploma that tells to the companies that I'm a competent person, but it doesn't tick all of their boxes at once. So I realized that it's better for me to just sit down and focus on my improvement. So I'll share what I'm doing right now, and maybe this will help to some other people, but of course this also depends on you, what you have to do after being rejected by so many companies. And I guess in everybody's situation, there's a set of things that you could do that could differ from the set of things that I'm doing, yet there could be some common things. So number one, I realized that here I need the language. So I'm trying to improve my German right now. I started reading books, listening to podcasts. I've been heavily learning new words. And I'm communicating with the people outside, with my neighbors, with the friends that speak German. I'm trying to improve my communication skills because I know that tomorrow when a company asks me about my German, or a manager in the interview speaks German to me, I will be able to answer with no problem. On the other hand, if I was just, saddened over my rejections and didn't do anything, then I guess I wouldn't be able to show them tomorrow that I am a competent person. The other thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to focus on my self-esteem. I've realized that the master's program has really lowered my self-esteem. First of all, I have become less confident because I didn't do any psychological work on myself. When I was 15, 16, 17, I was reading all these self-help books. Although I didn't really understand them at the time and not necessarily needed them. But I was reading them out of interest and they helped me a lot. And now I realized I need these books more than anything. Yeah, it sounds like nonsense, because self-help books are stupid, but not in every point of your life. Sometimes you need them. Sometimes you need the slightest, the smallest piece of motivation that you can get from anybody and everybody, because you're so low in life that you just need a catalyst. You need something to bring you back to life, let's say. So I've been kind of working on my self-esteem, my confidence. I've been trying to work on my subconsciousness, and it has really helped me. I guess everybody has their own, let's say, method of working on themselves. For me, it's really listening to audiobooks written by great authors, proven to be worth it, and also reading things from great authors as well. When I walk my dog, I turn on an audiobook and I listen to it. And when I'm sitting home smoking a cigar or drinking coffee, I just take a book in my hands, a book that I kind of found on the internet through great ratings, and I read it. Now I'm reading Go High by Big Sean. It's a new book. It was published in February 2025, and it's also a self-help book, and I already remembered many things that I knew before but I forgot about myself just by reading that book, and it made me feel better. What else am I doing? Next thing is I am trying to transition from the student life to an adult life. Although I'm an adult, I have forgotten how to be an adult let's say the right way. I forgot how to socialize. I forgot how to try to pitch yourself. I forgot how to communicate in a formal level. And I'm trying to kind of remember all these things, communicate more with the people outside, even in my applications, devote more time and effort. It just comes from that school-based achievement level life to real life. Because what I realized is in university you get dopamine from getting great grades, and you also get a feeling of accomplishment from reading about a concept that you have to learn or doing homework. On the other hand, in life, the essence of accomplishment is achieving the goals that are helpful for you to live a more comfortable life. For instance, earning money, building meaningful connections with the people around you, or taking care of your spiritual well-being, physical well-being, and emotional well-being. So I'm trying to do all those things. For instance, I've been going out more. I've been communicating with people more. I started calling my old friends. I have started kind of going online and watching videos where people are exploring different countries. I booked a tour to a European country and I went to my hometown and spent a really great time with my friend. Now these things aren't things that I did while doing my master's because I was fully focused on my courses. But even the small steps being taken now make me feel a lot better, because I feel like I'm coming back to life again. And it's really weird for a person who's not doing a master's or bachelor's degree, but if you are doing master's or bachelor's, you probably know this feeling from your semester breaks. During this semester, you devote all of your energy to your courses, and in your semester break, you kind of go back to socializing, doing normal people things, maybe doing things that you enjoy. And I've been doing those things, and now I'm kind of transitioning to the mindset that I'll never have to go through university exams again, so I'm trying to come back to life in a way. Trying to kind of reach things in life that are useful for my persona, for the person I am, whether it's having a great time with your friend, or buying yourself a book and reading it, learning something new, improving your financial situation somehow independently of a workplace. These are all the types of things that I'm doing now, just because I feel like I need to get back to life. So the things that I was doing while I was studying is pure focus on my studies. And now that I finished my studies and I realized that nothing is going to change in a minute, rather I have to take things slow, I'm taking them slow. I'm taking things day by day. I'm trying to come back to myself. I am doing things that I didn't do for a while, talking to the people that I didn't have the chance to talk to for a while, and trying to slowly build up my skill set to the, let's say, to the level required in my life, in my, let's say, position, that later I don't say, oh, I wasted all of this time, didn't do anything after graduating, just applied for work, got rejected, got demotivated, and fell into the midlife crisis. I would never go for a PhD now, just because I know that it's modern day slavery, in my opinion, especially the way it is here in Germany. And at the same time, I wouldn't like to be jobless, because I know that a person needs purpose in life, and even a 9 to 5 can give you a feeling of accomplishment, improve you, and of course earn you money. I am not into that kind of becoming 100% independent, starting my own business, filing for patents, becoming financially free type of life right now. Just because I know that these things are realistic at a level where you work daily, you put in the effort, and you do it smartly. And I'm not ready for that right now. And the reason for that is because I did a master's for a purpose. I wanted to work in aerospace. That was my dream. Your dream could be different. You could be dreaming to start a company or becoming super rich and living somewhere in the Pacific. That is not my dream. I like to smoke a cigar, read a book in the evening. I have students that I'm teaching, and I'm teaching them English and math, and I like that. I also like engineering. I like aerospace. I like things that fly. I liked learning about them. Now I would love to design those things, and I'm striving for that. I speak 3 languages fluently: Russian, Turkish, and English. And now I'm learning German because I know that I would need it in the university. I'm sorry, not in the, in the workplace. I apologize for that. And I see how brainwashed I am about universities. Well, that's what happens to you when you finish your master's. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're in the same position as me, don't get demotivated. The finish of your university, the start of adult life, doesn't mean that everything is behind, everything is over, you're late, you're miserable, you're hopeless. No. It is a start of something new. It is a new beginning. It's not necessarily a new page in your life, as in, forget everything you did, now you're living a new life. No. It's a slow transition into the adult life where you need to realize you're not in the university anymore, and you're not necessarily going to get achievements by just registering and passing an exam. Here the things are, I guess, a bit difficult, a bit harder. And that's okay. It's just different. But what did I take with me? I took a diploma. What could I do with it? Could work all over the world. I could get a citizenship. I could call myself an engineer with a master's degree and earn more than somebody with a bachelor's degree. It's a fact. We're living in a world shaped by industrial revolution and the need for technologies that are developed by humans. So it is great. And I'm hoping that this video will serve you as, let's say, an experience from my side, and hopefully motivation to move forward. Because life is not all about study, but life is also not all about work. You're gonna get transitions in life. As I find, they are the hardest. When I finished my bachelor's and moved to master's, it was terrible. I was like a fish from an aquarium being suddenly put into an ocean. That was the way it was. I got used to it. And I guess in any transition in life, you get used to it. But you just have to respect yourself, love yourself, do the things that you like, do the things that you know are going to help you. Whether it's playing a computer game for 1 or 2 hours a day, it's also fine. Whether it's going out and jogging, it's also fine. Whether it's learning a language, it's perfect. Whether it's just applying for work every single day, it's also acceptable. Do the things that you enjoy. Do the things that you find necessary for your next chapters in life. But more importantly, don't let some rejection define who you are. Because it doesn't mean that you're a loser. It means that there is a better place for you, a different place for you, where you will suit more, and where both parties, you and the company, will be happy. So, for me, that's the lesson I take with me. I hope you take a good lesson from this as well. I'm going to be seeing you more often now that I have time, and I'll be sharing more updates on my life. So, hopefully we'll see each other soon.